It's Aaliyah, and I'm here today to provide you with a video on how to budget. Okay, if you're gonna be a boss, you gotta get them finances in order. So I repeat, get them finances in check. We need to know how much money we making and how much money we spending. And the best way to do this is to create your own budget. So if you're interested in knowing how to create your own budget or all things entrepreneurship, fashion, beauty, and more, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and like the video while you're there as well.
Hey, yo. Look like I'm going for a swim.
Here's a few tips you want to keep in mind when creating a budget. Go ahead and find out how much money you make after taxes. Don't worry about before taxes, because as a business owner, you have to account for the money you make after taxes. I know it may be easy to look at a large amount of money and say, hey, we lit. But no, baby, you don't want to have to owe the IRS in the long run and your state tax collector. So make sure you don't be lit off of their tax money and you put it away to the side. So now that we got that covered, we got our tax money put off to the side. This is the money that we're working with, and this is the money that we're going to create a budget with. Now that we know what we're working with to create a budget, you want to go ahead and create a budgeting plan. So some people may need to use the envelope method. I know me particularly, I use my bank accounts. I open several different bank accounts. If you want to know about that, I'll definitely get into that in another video on this is how I use my different bank account methods to budget. I have a bank account for my savings, I have a bank account for my bills, and I have a bank account for my business. My bank account for my bills is more so like my personal bank account, because of course I have personal expenses, and I also have a bank account for my business, which most of my business bills come out of. So that's the way that I budget, and that's the way that I save. If you would like to use that method, you can go ahead and use that method. I just particularly keep all my business money separate, transfer my set amount of money, which is my pay. And of course, we can definitely get more into that in another video. If you want to know how I pay myself, we can definitely talk about that some more. But really, I have 3 different accounts. I have my business account, my personal account, and my savings account. And I use all 3 different accounts for different reasons. The envelope method. The envelope method is just getting a couple of different envelopes for different budgets that you have in place. So for instance, if you have a certain set amount for utilities, you go ahead and put that in this envelope. Usually utilities vary from month to month, so you may not know that ahead of time, but you can get a rough estimate of utilities. And I always say when budgeting, put a little extra instead of a little less. So if you know your utilities may have been $120 last month and $140 this month, I just recommend go ahead and put in $160 off for utilities in the utility budget, because you rather have extra money to work with and allocate somewhere else than to have less money. So make sure that you over budget when budgeting as well. The envelope method is just pretty much like taking out money and from your bank account. If you know you're not as disciplined and you can't just have a couple different accounts, because you may just see some money in your savings account and transfer it over to your regular account. You see your savings account, you say, oh, I got $100 in my savings account and I got $0 in my regular account, so I got $100 in my regular account. No. You got $100 in your savings account. You don't have $100 in your regular account. You have $0. So if you know you're that person, the envelope method might be the right method for you, because you go ahead and take all of the money out of the bank, No worries, no looking at those apps, no looking at all the money you have. Your savings account is just your savings account is tucked away in your bank, and you just have these different envelopes, and these different envelopes are used for the different things that you need to purchase throughout the month. So if you know you have to account for gas in your budget, you know you have a car. If you don't have a car, you know you need to account for bus passes, or you know whatever you need to account for, go ahead and put that money off to the side in an envelope. If you know you spend $100 on food from month to month, go ahead and put $100 off in the envelope so that you don't have to worry about swiping your card. You only use cash, and you only use the money that you have with you for the designated task. How are you going to stick to your budget? Now that you have a budget, you know how much your mortgage costs, you know how much your utilities cost, you know how much your water costs, you know how much your insurance is monthly, gas, food. You've accounted for all those different expenses such as your hair, makeup, etc. Whatever you know you spend monthly on, whatever it may be. It might be Starbucks. You know what you spend your money on monthly. You want to account for all of those different things, and you want to be honest with yourself. Because when creating your budget, you're going to be able to see, hey, this is what I'm spending too much money on. This is what I need to cut back on. This is what I need to spend more money on. That's why it's so important to have a budget. And we're going to create a budget today, because you should not just be out here spending money frivolously. You should have a plan for all of the money that you spend. You should know how much money you're spending, and you should be able to account for all these different things. The way you can track your progress is track your earnings and your spendings. So all the money that you make sure that you have some sort of way of accounting for this. Whether it's QuickBooks or just putting it on a Google Sheet document, make sure that you are accounting for all the money that you make monthly. And make sure that you're on the flip side accounting for all the money that you spend monthly. Because one thing you'll realize when creating a budget is, hey, this is how much money I make through the month, and this is how much money I spend through the month. I'm spending damn near how much money I'm making, or I'm spending way less. These are the different things that you can identify with creating a budget, which is why it's so important to have. I know things come up, but in reality, you know how much money you can spend throughout the month. So even if you have to readjust your budget, just make sure that you're not spending more money than you should be spending month to month. Even if you got to spend a little bit more money on food this month and a little bit less money on gas this month, you can definitely reallocate your needs. But just make sure that you're not spending more money than what you allocated to your budget, period. Like, we're not going over the budget. That's what we're not going to do. That's what we're not going to do. But you can feel free to you could go ahead and go to Red Lobster, but just know, like, you not gonna be having a $40 gas type of month. You finna have a $20 gas this type of month, so you can't be running up and down the road, because my budget is that. Cha-ching! Money lessons with Vanity. Okay, guys, so I'm here on my iPhone, and basically we're going to make a budget from scratch on our iPhones. And of course, you guys can get fancy systems such as QuickBooks, or even use Google Sheets or Excel, but iPhone Notes works just as well. So we're going to start with the monthly income of $5,000, and then we're just going to account for building, storage, cleaning, etc. You know what this stands for. Wherever you store your inventory, this is what I'm referring to. So if you have like a pickup location, or if you don't have a pickup location, you store your inventory within your house, account for that as well. So for inventory, we're just going to go ahead and put $1,000. For your marketing budget, I would recommend to invest about 10% of your inventory into marketing to get your products pushed. Insurance, we could say $60. Of course, we can go over a ton of different insurance options. Just comment down below if you would like to know that information. Cable and internet, we're going to do $125, and utilities $200. So here we're just adding everything up on my calculator. 750 plus 1,000 plus 100 plus 60 plus 125 plus 200 for utilities. So that equates to $2,235. $2,235 is what you can expect to spend month to month for your business expenses. Now that we have that established, we go ahead and subtract that from the total monthly income and we're on to our personal expenses. So for the house, we're just going to say $800, utilities $200, cable and internet, that's going to be $100 for the house, grooming, hair, nails, wax, etc. Let's just say $200 for this. Gas, we're going to say, let's do $100. And for car insurance, we're going to do $150. For health insurance, we're going to go ahead and say $100. You know, we got that Obamacare. That's what we're doing. And savings, we're just going to go ahead and put $500 for savings. And let's just start totaling everything up. So first, it'll be $800 for the house, $200 for utilities, $100 for cable and internet, $200 from grooming, gas, $100, car insurance, $150, health insurance, $500 and health insurance $100, and then savings $500. Total equates to $2,150. You know exactly how much money you spend from month to month, it is easier to allocate your funds. You know that each month you need to bring in at least $4,385, in which you need to make from either your job, being a full-time entrepreneur, etc. But you know that you need to bring in minimum $4,385. For this budget, we did have a monthly income of $5,000. So, of course, we do have money left over and remaining. Here, you can allocate money to different budgets. I would recommend to invest into your inventory, marketing budget, some of the two first budgets that you do decide to allocate additional funds to. Let me know how you guys felt about this video. If you guys would like more videos like this, comment down below. And until next time, thank you guys as always. Much love. See you in the next video. Mwah.